When it comes to the subject of Bitcoin, the first thing that comes up is price. Bitcoin is going to the moon, as those in the Bitcoin community like to say. This is slang for going up in a parabolic upward direction in terms of dollars or euros or other fiat currency. Others will go as far as to say they will never sell their Bitcoin for any dollar value. An example of this would be Michael Saylor. What does prices matter in a fiat currency when they don't have any real-world value other than they are needed to pay taxes? But other than this, fiat currencies don't have any real-world value. Any real-world utility. If someone were to ask what are some of the prices of things you can name off the top of your head, the answer would be gasoline. The gasoline and oil as a whole are what runs the modern economy. Because everyone needs it to get to work, as well as how most of goods are transported. The United States uses 20 million barrels of per day. A barrel of oil has about 20 gallons of gasoline per barrel. At current prices, this would be around $90. The min wage being roughly $15. This means you could theoretically trade a gallon of gasoline for 6 hours human labor. Now let's take that figure into the value of energy equivalent of Bitcoin. Bitcoin at current price of roughly $30,000. The current price could pay for 1 year of labor at minimum wage for someone working a 40-hour week. The all-time high of Bitcoin, 69,000, could purchase more than 2 years of labor at minimum wage in the United States. Now let's take things global. It's been estimated that about 2/3 of the world lives on a few dollars per day. The people living this standard of living are part of what is known as the Third World. With the current price of Bitcoin of $30,000, you would be able to buy more than 3 years of Third World labor. Some of the most bullish speculators are making claims of Bitcoin to reach price of $100,000 to as much as $1 million. A price of $100,000 could buy you 10 years of Third World labor. If Bitcoin were to reach $1 million, it would be an astonishing 100 years of Third World labor, more than the average life expectancy. The globalization of the economy that allows the First World to have access to the cheap labor. If not for cheap fossil fuels like oil, we in the First World would not be able to outsource labor to the Third World. Not only does oil gives you access to cheap labor, oil itself has replaced labor. It's been estimated that a barrel of oil has the energy equivalent of 4 years of per barrel of oil. Now let's compare the energy equivalent of oil to the speculative price predictions. Just looking at the low-end price of $100,000. If a barrel of oil has 4 years of human labor, $100,000 would equal 4,000 years of human labor. Now does any think Bitcoin is worth thousands of years of human labor? I really don't think anyone thinks Bitcoin is worth thousands of years of human labor. Bitcoin is created through mining, but in this case it's digital, not physical mining. To put it simply, how Bitcoin it's done by solving advanced mathematical problems on what is called the Bitcoin blockchain. I will not go into full detail since I have already gone through this on other videos on my channel. Since Bitcoin is created through computer power, this large amount of computer power requires a lot of energy. With all energy comes heat. The heat the mining rigs give off is wasted energy. In fact, energy has to use to cool down the mining rigs. This means the source of energy Bitcoin comes from is electricity. Some critics of Bitcoin have criticized Bitcoin due to the fact of how much electricity the Bitcoin network requires. This has caused Bitcoin miners to increasingly go over to mining Bitcoin used more sustainable and cleaner energy sources. Recently, some of the most pro-Bitcoin people have tried to say that Bitcoin is a way to store energy. But how can Bitcoin be some sort of store of energy? Yes, it takes energy in the process of mining Bitcoin. But is Bitcoin truly worth its weight in terms of energy? Is Bitcoin really worth 250 barrels of oil and what that amount of energy provides to the economy? Whether it's in terms of human labor it replaces or the machines that we use in our modern industrial world. The Bitcoin community will make predictions of prices of $100,000 or $500,000 or even $1 million. But as I have discussed in this video, the figures are meaningless. You compare it to something tangible: barrels of oil, gasoline and/or human labor. Another example of comparing Bitcoin to something tangible is a home. The average home price is $350,000. Would anyone sell their home for Bitcoin? It would at current price take more than 10 Bitcoin to buy a house. Everyone needs a home, but with the recent yearly gains in prices, it's become popular to flip houses for a quick profit. But since Bitcoin and crypto require less education to do so, flipping Bitcoin for quick buck has the new house flipping. Since all you need is a computer or smartphone. Just like with real estate or any asset. This creates speculative bubbles and booms and then bust. But as is discussed in the video, that is the fair value of Bitcoin, not in terms of dollars but in terms of energy. If we're price Bitcoin gold. Over the last 2 years, Bitcoin priced in gold has gone in wild swings from anywhere between 100 grams and 1,000 grams of gold per Bitcoin. If it is the new gold, shouldn't it correlate strongly with gold and other real-world commodities? Instead, Bitcoin has more correlated to tech stocks and not commodities like oil or gold. Oil is the most commonly used commodity. Oil is energy. Also, oil is more than just energy. But is Bitcoin a way to store energy as some claim it is? Could Bitcoin be some sort of digital battery? Tell me what you think of the idea of the Bitcoin as store of energy in the comment section. Also, check out my other related videos in the link in the description below.